Raptors come into this game as big underdogs against the Houston Rockets, but give them a scare. But is it impressive enough to be happy with the performance, or should the Raptors really have gotten the win here? We'll break it down in tonight's post-game show. We're getting into the holiday spirit here. The channel is booming. Amateur Sports, nearly 18,000 subs. If you're watching there, make sure you're subscribed. If you're watching on the Reaction channel, you can also subscribe as well for post-game shows like this for virtually every Raptors game. But the Raptors fall to the Houston Rockets. Honestly, from a score standpoint, I thought the Raptors would lose by double digits. I thought they'd struggle to get to 100 points in this one. So, okay, they play the Rockets well. They have a competitive game, end up losing. And I always want the Raptors to win in the moment. I will never root against them. Once the game is over, I just mentioned it on the live, but once the dust settles in the game, I look back and say, okay, doing it better. Like, we're still helping secure ourselves at the better odds for the NBA draft. The Raptors are bottom 4 record right now. But I very much dislike the idea that the coaches are coaching the team poorly on purpose to make them lose games for the tank. Organizations tank, players don't tank, coaches don't tank. The coaches are listen, like Darko Rajakovic is trying to win this game. He is trying to put the team in a position to win, and he's coaching for his job in a way. I don't think he's anywhere close to getting fired, but you want to prove to your bosses that you're good at your job. And games like this, like, there was a lot of bad stuff involved in this game. There's a lot of good stuff, but there were some coaching issues and poor management of this game that cost them in the end. Like, the one play the game boils down to, Raptors work on, like, they're up early, which we'll get into, but late game, they fight back. They make it a 3-point game. They forced a turnover. They have the ball back. It was 3-point game with 17 seconds left. Inbound play, deflected out of bounds off of Houston. Should be Raptors ball. Bad decision by the ref. Refs make a bad call. They call it Rockets ball. Should be Raptors ball. Raptors don't have their challenge because the Raptors use their challenge, as they so frequently do, in the first half of the game and lose it. If you're going to use your challenge in the first half, you got to be sure you're going to win. Like, if you're sure you're going to win your challenge, and I forget the exact play that it was, but it was like clear they were not going to win the challenge. It was a charge. It was a Dylan Brooks. There was a charge called against, I think, Walter. It was. They weren't going to win that challenge ever. If you're going to win your challenge, for sure, use it, because it's better to guarantee you're going to win it than wait till late in the game. Maybe you're not going to win it. Maybe it's better to have won it, and you keep it, by the way. But the Raptors did use their challenge up earlier, and even the Raptors commentators, who never really ever say a word of negativity toward this team, even brought up how bad a decision that was. On top of that, from a in-game management perspective, Jacoby Walter scores the first 14 points of the games for the Raptors. Jacoby Walter scores the first 14 points of the game for the Raptors. Literally, first 14 points of the game, all by him for the Raptors. 6 minutes into the game, he gets taken out. He gets subbed out. At a certain point, and I've been less critical of this than other people have been. At a certain point, if a guy's playing well, just keep him out there. I know you have your pre-existing rotation, but at a certain point, if a guy's got the hot hand, leave him on the floor. Good grief. Foul trouble, whatever. He did foul out in the end, but I feel like at that point, you got to let the guy play. You got to let the guy play through it. Ended up being career night for Jacoby Walter. Very impressive. But another thing. Barnes goes 2 of 15 from the field, 0 of 8 from 3. The first 7 shots that Barnes took tonight were threes. He missed all of them. He was 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 7 from 3. So whether or not this is a game plan where I'm okay with Barnes taking, honestly, I'm okay with him taking 8 threes a game, to be honest. I can live with that. My numbers, my sweet spot's probably 6, maybe 7, but I'm okay with 8 threes. I'm not okay with only taking threes. And I'm also not okay when he's 0 of 7 to still want to take any. Take him if you're open, catch and shoot, but to walk into them and shoot them. I don't know if this is a coaching thing pregame, even if it isn't. If it is, fix that. If it isn't, and Barnes just, doing what he pleases and taking these threes, at a certain point as a coach, you have to step in and say, we need to change this, because I cannot have Barnes go 45 minutes without taking a free throw. It is a clear showcase that he is not getting to the rim. He is not being aggressive. And when that's happening, Barnes is not playing well on offense. He's just not bringing the best to the team. In other ways, he affected the game positively. He had 10 rebounds. He had 3 steals. He played good defensively. On offense, Barnes cannot go 45 minutes without a free throw attempt. Barnes cannot go 3 quarters without a 2-pointer being attempted. And at a certain point, if it wasn't pregame coaching decision, it needs to become a coaching decision midway through the game. People in chat were saying Barnes is injured. He's playing hurt. He wants to get to 65 games to try and get an All-NBA. First of all, if he's injured, he shouldn't play because we're tanking and I want him healthy. Second of all, if you're playing, you're healthy. If you're playing, you're healthy. And if you're not even operating at 100%, you can still make better decisions than walking into a 3 early in the shot clock and just hoisting it up when you've already missed 7 tonight. Okay? Barnes is a good player. It's a bad game. Bad games happen. Coaching should have gotten involved in it. And Barnes, I'm sure, will be fine. But, yeah, 2 of 15, 0 of 8 from 3 is a disaster of a game. He wasn't the worst point guard on the floor. That title goes to Fred VanVleet, who only got his first point of the game in, the last minute. But, yeah, this could have been coached better. And if it was coached better, Raptors probably win this game. So the fact that we're even in a position where they could have beaten the Rockets is impressive, and we'll give them credit because defensively they were great tonight. We'll give the coaching credit from that perspective because defensively the Raptors were fantastic at shutting down a lot of what the Rockets wanted to do, and mostly it was forcing turnovers. First half, the turnover differential was well in Toronto's favor, and they used the turnovers to great avail. I'm not sure how skewed the stats will be because the Raptors started turning the ball over a lot later, but the Rockets, okay, it still kind of showcased it. There was 21 turnovers each, which is bad. But the Raptors scored 31 off of those turnovers compared to 21 by the Rockets. That helped keep the Raptors in this game. But they kept in the game. I mean, they took the big lead early, largely down to the tremendous play of Jacoby Walter. 9 of 18, 6 of 11 from 3. 27 points, a new career high for Jacoby Walter, hopefully the first of many they will build on this season. Abaji plays well, 7 of 14, 15 points. Grady Dick plays well, 14 points on 5 of 9 shooting. Not a ton of playtime for Mobo because you got one of Kelly Olynyk's better games of the season with 8 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. And Jamal Shead plays great. 10 assists, 11.6 rebounds for Shead. I'm no longer going to be convinced that he shouldn't be playing over Mitchell. Mitchell's the better defender. Shead's a better offensive player and the younger player and is a rookie. I'm giving my backup minutes to David Mitchell when they're both healthy going forward. Will the coaches do that? I don't know. Mitchell is injured today. I think Shead's got to get those minutes. On the Rockets side of things, Brooks has a massive second half, which is a big reason why they came back to win. Şengün grew into the game. Jalen Green's early flurry of tough shots kept him in the game enough so that the better team was able to come through in the end. Both teams, the Raptors' three-point shooting was the thing that kept them in it. Without Pirtle, paint defense is going to suffer a little bit more. They get 62 points to paint compared to our 50. But as much as there was good, it's a shame that a lot of this game has a shadow over it because there's just some key decisions that weren't made or made poorly by the Raptors coaching staff, which is a strong reason why they lose the game. So it's a shame because there's a lot to like about this performance, that it comes down to some big decisions that were bad, but it's competitive loss. It's an ethical tank job, and the Raptors move forward. The schedule for the rest of the season, or for the rest of the year, is tough. They got the Knicks away, the Grizzlies away, home versus the Hawks, away at the Celtics close 2024. The Raptors won their first 2 games of December, but I think they're done winning in 2024. I think winning is over in 2024. 7 losses in a row. I suspect it will become 11. They will be big underdogs in the next 4 games before a New Year's Day game where they'll be favored at home, likely against the Brooklyn Nets. Second night of back-to-back tomorrow against the Knicks. I am not looking forward to seeing what could come of that game because I think it could get ugly for Toronto.